Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. We are currently outside Newark Castle, as you can see it there, and it's shut. It's shut. I'm here to meet my friend Carl. He's here to give us some history in the place. We've driven about an hour and a half from like Edinburgh through a bit of traffic just to get here, only to find out it's shut. How are we gonna get in? You know, well, we can get in because there's an entranceway around here. Carl's already in here. We were just speaking to a lovely couple from Idaho in the US. Give a bit of information about here and a wee chat. So I think it's just us now, but yeah, you can see him over there. This is Port Glasgow, by the way. Beautiful place. Lovely wee coastline around here we're traveling to. But yeah, we've come here to see Newark Castle. So yeah. In order to get in, when it's shut, you have to go this way. Hopefully it won't slip. The stones got a bit wet. It was drier when it turned up and the rain's come on. So I just step down here. Boop. Must have been when the boat came in. Up here is the man himself. Yeah, it's a shame that we can't get in, eh? Yeah. It's a shame that we can't get in.
Well, yeah, it said on the website it's open, but obviously not.
That's the problem. Sometimes the website they say they're open and then you turn up and you find out that you can't get in at all. Which is a shame. It would be nice to be able to see inside, but
Nice and dry.
yeah. But we're not gonna be defeated, because there's a possibility we might be able to go somewhere else after this for another video, eh, Carl?
What will all your subscribers think?
I've got to just give them, you know, bits and bobs, you know, and the best way of doing that is to have Carl with us, because he can go and tell us some information about said castle. Do you want to give some info? You got a nice warm up when you were speaking to the American folk.
Have you gone now?
Yeah, they're away. It's a shame. I would have given them a lift.
All that way from Idaho to here.
But you know what, like, we drive all the way here and then we'll end up chatting to people and it'll be pitch black by the time we leave. So if we're quick, if we wander around here, we will be able to possibly go somewhere else.
Where would you like to go?
We'll talk about that off camera. So.
Yeah, okay.
Will we walk round?
Yeah.
Just slowly stroll round.
The land was actually purchased by the Maxwells around about 1402. The castle wasn't actually built until 1478 by a guy called Sir George Maxwell. Originally, it was a fortified tower house with surrounding battlements or wall, what you call it. So it's a self-sufficient run castle, but it's old bakehouse, brew room, stables, everything you need if you're ever under siege. Because back in the day the Maxwells had quite a feud with the Montgomerys, a feud that goes back hundreds of years. Said that around about 1495 King James IV actually visited the castle on his way to the Outer Hebrides, which is yonder, to try and quell a baroness revolt, and he needed the aid of Maxwell, who had quite a vast army back in the day, and local lairds within the area, and he actually stayed a couple of nights here until he set sail for the Outer Hebrides to form the rebellion. As you can see, you can actually make out bits and pieces. The old gatehouse here, so there would have been a door around here. and you go into the outside door. This is walls, and you go through here. This is the this is your you walk into the courtyard. As you can see, you've got your cannon loops there, your guard room there. This is one thing that I'd like to show you. Well, this is obviously this dates back from when the likes of Patrick Maxwell had the house around about the 1580s. As you can see above, take out PM, which is Patrick Maxwell, and the MC on the top there, that stands for Margaret Crawford, his wife, who he married for 44 years, and they had 16 children.
Wow.
Bless the blessings. God be herein. The blessings of God be herein.
But it wasn't always happy, was it?
No, he actually abused his wife from day one. This was Patrick Maxwell. As well as having 16 children, like I say, he used to treat her very, very badly. Like I said to you, American people, back in the day, the women were second-class citizens when it came to marriage. Patrick Maxwell was a close friend, and I mean a close friend, with James VI of Scotland and England, James I of England. And he used to visit here on regular occasions. He's a member of the Privy Council, and he used to abuse his wife in front of everybody. Even it said he abused his wife in front of the king. He held a knife to her throat and told her to go to bed, and used to lock her in a room for months on end, between 6 and 8 months on end. And I was telling Simon as well that one instance where he used to feed his wife while she was locked in a room, incarcerated. He used to feed his wife bread and water, and he found out that one of the maids had been serving him meat and veg, and he strangled the servant to death, I believe, because she gave his wife meat and he crossed her. So it was not a nice man whatsoever. Like I said, after 44 years, Margaret Crawford actually escaped from this castle and escaped across the water to Dumbarton, but I'm afraid he was never held accountable for his actions, because women meant nothing then. Even, I believe, Patrick Maxwell's mother was concerned about it, seeing her full of cuts and bruises, and she even approached the Privy Council to actually condemn what her son was doing to Margaret, but they just turned a blind eye to the brutality back in the day. So yeah, he wasn't a very, very nice man. And it's a shame we can't get in there, because like I was telling Simon, there's actually vaults in here that date back after the Maxwells left the castle. It was actually tenanted out via the shipbuilders, which you can see, which is virtually next door. And round about the 17th century, people used to export wild creatures. And of course, when they were on the ships, they had nowhere to store them. So a guy called Mr. Gray, who used to export exotic creatures, used to store them in the basement of this building, the cellars, ranging from lions, tigers, bears, and they were just left to roam about in these cellars in the basement. Of course, fights and what have you broke out, and I believe it was quite lively, should we say. Oh, sorry. And also it said that a red lady is sent to roam the cellars, if you like your haunted side of things.
Do you think these are maybe the cellar windows, or just like higher, or maybe a lot lower?
They may be, yes, for a bit of light, but originally they were good for gun loops when it was a fortified castle. Yes, so the lady in red is said to, nobody knows who she is. People believe it's Margaret Crawford, who was said to roam the castle because of her mistreatment, but nobody knows.
If you see anything in the windows, let us know.
Also as well, around about the 1970s, pictures were taken of the castle for advertising and to try and advertise the castle. It's an investment when it was due to get renovated. And they found in one of the windows at the front, now I'm presuming this is the front, a lady in Victorian dress was seen at the window, but she was seen from the waist up. Now, anybody, human person, who's at the window from the waist up has to be stood on something. So, plus the fact the castle was closed, so there was nobody accountable inside the building when the picture was taken. So nobody knows whoever it was. She was in full, I believe, Victorian dress, down to the hat, the big fancy hat.
Wow.
But it was definitely was a lady.
What window do you think it was?
I
think it was one of these windows here.
Could well be, yeah.
Big main window.
She was at the window for some time and then suddenly just disappeared, melted away in the window.
Wow.
But like I say, your guess is as good as mine. Which window? All I know is at the front of the building. So yeah, it's got a quite turbulent past.
And this part of the building just has a more, you know, battle kind of side to it, doesn't it?
As you can see, that's the newer part. This part of the building, the tower house part of the building, was built back in the day. And then the newer part is obviously that part leading on from there, because this is the original tower house. When it was a tower, as you can see the side there, you can see where a window was. So that's the original tower house, and over the course of time, when trouble ceased, it was more of a house, a livable house.
You kind of like have a house, and then you've got like a battle retreat, haven't you? Really,
yeah. Like
something that nobody's getting into.
Well, you know yourself, back in the day, when you built a tower house, that was the thing. You didn't want anybody to get in there.
They would build a tower, then build a wall around it, and then usually they would go and build a house. And here you can obviously see where there might have been another structure around here at one point. The young lad was sort of pointing that out and saying, you know, was that stairs? I said, well, or a roof. And
more a roof,
I think there's probably some sort of wooden structure that would have been here as well. And being the fact that they wouldn't have just, you know, completely had it made out of stone.
It could have been stables, what have you, for the people coming to visit. It could have been anything really. Obviously,
I don't see a visible, obviously it's confusing because of the change of the scenery. We've got like shipyards here and what have you.
Well, around about the turn of the century, around about the turn of the 19th century, then it's actually lent out to the shipyards, actually bought the land. So that's why you've got the shipyards virtually on top of it. And there was talk around about the 1980s to actually knock this building down to extend the shipyards.
What's interesting is I noticed that, so around the building, right, around each of the sort of arches, you can see a symbol up there. I'm not quite sure what that is. It almost looks like...
It's a P.
Yeah, like a P and there's maybe a sword or a... And but they would have been, they're dotted around, so there's maybe there, but some of them are knocked off, like they've been removed. And obviously the coat of arms is worn away.
If you're a friend of the king and you've got people of royalty visiting you, like James VI, you want the place to shine, don't you? You want the place to really, so what you do, you go all hell leather, make it all elaborate, make the windows on top there.
Yeah.
It's a show off. You're showing off your building, showing off your house. Well, the sandstone, which is made of now, was all different. You know, where your windows stand out a lot more.
Sandstone in some of these that they've just worn off over time, because that is obviously that big one, some sort of coat of arms in the middle. And there would have been one over the door. There's where that's one. You see, there's one there.
See, if you're a friend of the king, you can show off the king's crest.
But some of these sort of be seals as well. They'll be like, basically, there might be the family one, and there might be one to say this is the king that we support.
He was a member of the Privy Council, so therefore he shows it in his building, the likes of the all sorts of different emblems of the Privy Council of Scotland, King James VI, his crest, the unicorn of Scotland, and you can see at the side there the gun loops at the side there where when it was a fortified house back in the day. But yeah, it's amazing.
Well, we walked around this way. Let's have a look at this wee.
And on the other side you can see the remnants of where it was built.
This is where they've put up a little bit of...
You see where the window was there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, where there would have been a window. You can just see the markings.
a lot of the tower houses, the likes of Ben's castle as well. Yeah, the tower, which is there now, has a roof on it. You know, when they put a roof on it to make it a bit more elaborate, but obviously this one hasn't, because they've extended more outwards rather than upwards.
Yeah.
See even the drainage system as well, you know.
Well, it's got that kind of, those sort of outward draining system, but you know, like you sometimes see the big gaps around the side of these places as if they were gonna, you know, they could throw something out, but it's more just structural than anything else.
Well, that's more medieval.
Yeah.
That's more your Norman type castle. Chimney for the castle, as well as obviously that's where your bakehouse was. So they've utilised, so they set up a big chimney where they can heat the house from the other side, and then this side you can build your, you know, you make your bread and all sorts. So they've utilised that big chimney to do different functions rather than just the one.
I mean, they would have had like Canadian cook women down there, and yeah.
But what
they knew everything about the house.
What I do like is these baronial, what they call these, you know, like you have it and that stick out, them circular things. I think they're fantastic. And as you can see above there, you've got different ornate bits and pieces there, ornaments and what have you.
It's quite a bonny place.
Oh, it is. I should have mentioned it was back in the day. The Maxwells are a very powerful family.
To see some of these sort of like little, I mean, I would say this is like a smaller kind of castle on the coast.
It was self-sufficient, you know. It was like a mini village, in a sense.
This would have been a wall, so you can see.
You've got your wall, you've got your tower
round.
Before it was utilised and turned into a dovecot.
Yeah.
So it gives you an idea of the space where the walls were.
Yeah, just
you know, you're not talking a massive tower house and surround, but it's self-sufficient. Got the wall there.
There'll be stairs in here, will I? Take you to the top if it was open. You can even see in there. You can see the stairs in there somehow.
I think what you got to remember as well, Simon, when it was ruinous, people just helped themselves to the brickwork that's lying about.
Yeah.
You know, when it becomes ruinous, they just, I'll have that to build my shed.
Well, one of the castles I was looking at, or buildings, you know, stated that the house nearby was made from the old castle. Yeah. So there wasn't a lot of the castle to see, which was a shame.
Well, like I've said to you before, where I live in Stirling, Cambus Conwell Abbey, when that was ruinous, everybody's using it to build bits of Stirling with it. And hence, you know, you've got all sorts of houses now that have ghosts of monks, and yet they've got nothing to do with monks. It's because they're using the brickwork. Yeah. I'm a big believer in the stone tape there.
Yeah. Well, in that conversation with my guru, Jay, from my circle, about, you know, ghosts and spirits, and how a ghost is effectively, or the way that she explains it, as a ghost is a recording, while a spirit is a physical, is a, an intelligent spirit. For example, saying that they took a trip on one of the boats out to the islands near Edinburgh, where there's an abbey or a church that's still kind of there, you can go and visit, and as a medium, she said it was one of the busiest places she'd been to in a long time. She said, but the thing was, there was a lot of ghosts there, and there was people that were coming out obviously to go to church, and the monks that would have been on the island, but there were spirits too.
I wonder if, you have the likes of, obviously, a spirit, a medium, whatever you want, a medium or a sensitive, clairvoyant, whatever you want to call them, who actually sense these. Let's say, for example, a medium goes into this building and picks up, let's say, numerous entities, energies, spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call them. I wonder if the individual spirits or ghosts, I wonder if they actually interact with each other. You know, let's say, for example, you've got a ghost of one era and a ghost of another era. Maybe they are aware of each other, like I'm aware of you now, or are they in a different realm to each other?
The ghosts that we're seeing on the island, we're just doing what they would have done during the time, as if you're seeing the time, and they are acting out their lives, but they don't see you, and they don't see anything past that, just from that time.
Like a video recording.
But the spirits there, they are there. They travel there because they have lived there at one point, they like the place, or whether or not they return, or whether they're still there, they never move.
We're talking the spirits or the energy of the ghost that actually interacts with humans.
The interacting type, the actual physical type.
So therefore, are they aware of other spirits within that
they
area?
may well see.
With other spirits?
They probably do.
Even though they're from a different moment in time?
If they are spirits, they're from the current time, and they will just be there wondering about the place. They will also probably see the place from times that they remember. But if they are ghosts and they are just a recording, they are just doing what they did at the time, with no interaction with anything. Yeah. Spirits are the actual, you know, the thing that's here, but they do see the time in which they came from. They can probably...
Saying that though, you could go down another avenue. You could say that, all right, like for example, I believe in the stone tape theory of energy that's been absorbed, depending obviously what brickwork it is. Obviously, the likes of sandstone now, which has quite a lot of quartz, and quartz is a mineral that absorbs energy. And like I say, that if it absorbs enough of energy and it doesn't have any more room for that energy, it suddenly bursts out and it plays like a video recorder.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
That would be your ghosts.
Well, yeah.
That would be your ghosts.
Saying that though, so does that mean that the likes of sandstone now, does that have a conscience? Does that know how much energy to absorb, and know when it's full up with energy that it just explodes it out? So therefore, we're going down the road of brickwork.
We're all part. You know, every single piece of material is all. You know, we could just break us all down.
Surely then you can go down one and say, so therefore that brick or that stone has conscience, has a brain. It knows when to split it out. It knows when the energy is in the brickwork is full up, and it knows when to spew it out and to form as a film.
I think energy just kind of works in waves. I think you just have to be here at the right place at the right time. But I think if you are a medium, you would pick up on it. You know, some people can just see it. They just see it happening when they're there. It's almost like they're channeling that time.
But my
it'd be like saying, you know, I'm as psychic as a brick, but you know, like I've got as much consciousness as a brick.
Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, you try and reason with something, and then you think, hang on a minute, but what if? And then you're back to square one.
There's still a bit unknown. Well, you know, it's obviously unknowns, but
I don't think anybody will know the true extent of you know what happens when we die. Do we come back? Obviously, we are a mass of energy, so therefore our energy, our unique individual energy, when we die, must go somewhere. Like your famous philosophers and your famous scientists, energy cannot be destroyed. It cannot die.
We must leave. We definitely leave some sort of imprint of ourselves around us in our daily lives.
Therefore, the likes of, I know it sounds silly now, I'm talking to you now, this sounds silly, but the likes of, if you've got like for example the red lady that's seen in the basement of this building, all right, she's energy, she appears, she disappears, but what does that energy feed on? Where does it come from? Where does she source that energy? Does she get it off people walking about the building? Does she draw it off us as we're walking past, not realising?
I think it's just always there. I think it's always moving about, but I think other energies that are moving around it at the time might uncover it to you. I think, like I say, you have to be at the right place at the right time in order, but it's always there.
But saying that, there's that much energy in the atmosphere now, the likes of radio waves, the likes of phone waves, the internet facilities. Obviously, you should imagine that as internet facilities, lights as well, electricity. So therefore, does that spirit, that energy, that ghost draw their energy to manifest, to walk about, to actually appear? Does it draw it off the energy that's within that castle, i.e. the electricity?
Some of the most classic
internet,
ghost stories
the phone lines,
you know, have turned around and said, you know, this person or this ghost was seen quite regularly in a certain place for years, and then, but in recent years, it just seems to have kind of like faded off. Is that because the recording or the energy is dissipated?
Well, saying that though, a lot of these, let's say that you mentioned, you touched on it before, a lot of these white ladies that we see, or grey ladies that we see within castles, or people see, should we say, within castles, was that used to be a full-bodied apparition, and over the course of time the energy draining and draining and draining, so therefore it becomes quite faint and the colours, should we say, fade on that lady. Maybe when she first appeared she was red, and over the course of years she keeps being sighted, but the energy is going less and less and less, so therefore she goes to a pink lady, and from a pink lady into a white lady, and then from a white lady it just sounds.
There are,
and then from sounds to footsteps.
There are actually old tales and these old stories about, you know, spirits and types of spirits and types of non-human spirits, talking about the colour of them, depicting what had happened to them or why they were created, which designates the colour, as it were, which just sounds ridiculous, because, you know, you could say, well, you know, this castle's got a blue lady, this castle's got the green lady.
Well,
there's a lot of white ladies being seen everywhere.
A green lady is to signify oncoming doom, or oncoming she's there, the lady of warning, to a certain extent. A green lady, the likes of the Green Lady Stirling Castle, is supposed to be the lady, or Mary Queen of Scots, lady in waiting, who was also called Mary, that foresold or foreseen that Mary was gonna, there's going to be a fire in the castle, so therefore she decided to sleep next to Mary while Mary was in bed, and of course it happened. What you call, what's the word for it? To a certain extent, back in the day, she was a medium, but she didn't want to draw attention to it because people were ridiculed, people were burnt, saying they were a witch. So therefore, she walks around Stirling Castle now as the Green Lady. Apparently, if you see her, it foresees doom to that individual person who sees her. Something's going to happen to you. You're going to die.
So you don't want to see her.
Well, yeah.
Then there's that castle that I went to recently while I was with my friend Stuart, where apparently a woman was taken and she was, you know, jailed there at a time. I can't remember if this was wasn't related to Rob Roy. She was a relation of someone, and she was imprisoned in the castle. This castle has a ghost that I wasn't aware of at the time. I did a walk around the place. I can't remember the name, but it starts with a D, I think.
Staffage.
I think it's that one.
Fiona McDonald was incarcerated
that's
there.
the one. That's the one. So effectively, that has a ghost of a woman. I don't know if it's actually it's her, and she's a green lady. But when she's seen and she's just moving about and she's looking happy, everything's okay.
Correct.
But if she's seen crying, apparently that was almost like a a harbinger of something that's going to happen. The Mothman prophecy is very much connected to that as well. The Mothman that was seen about the time when the Silver Bridge in the local area went down, Point Pleasant, and there is a lot of stories about whether or not the Mothman was some sort of like supernatural creature that was there to, basically say something's gonna happen,
I think these are all local legends, aren't they?
Well,
but like you say,
he's still seen today, Carl. He's still seen. I'm working on Carl. I'm working on Carl with fairies and supernatural creatures and all sorts of stuff. And
I'm on the fence when it comes to Bigfoot, Mothman, and what have you.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Like you say,
urban legends
seeing is believing.
Yeah.
It's a topic maybe some of our videos might take up on it some other time when we're famous and we can hit the woods in the US. And then Carl's like going, I'm never coming back here again. I was terrified.
Oh yeah. I'm easily, like I say, seeing is believing, and I'm there.
I'm open-minded, so I want to open-minded. Yeah, I've got to be skeptical. There's a lot of people talk a lot of nonsense, and a lot, even these stories, are have been passed down and Chinese whispered.
Of course they have, to make them more exciting. Things have been added to them, like any storytelling. If somebody just told a normal random story, nobody interested, but you spice it up a bit.
Yeah.
It makes it more exciting and more, should we say, hearable.
Yeah. But there you go, guys. This is Newark Castle. It's quite a bit of history, and I'm going to get attacked by a seagull there. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed some of the stories that we've got. Apart from
listening to our waffle.
Our waffle.
Yeah.
Like when we start talking about ghosts and stuff. Some of our subscribers might not be into ghosts.
No.
It is called the Unexplained Scotland channel, so please like and subscribe. Thanks for supporting the channel. Make sure you put a like in it, because that's important too, as well as your subscription.
Yes.
We're moving towards 1,000 subscribers. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, you might maybe make us a few bob so we can buy ourselves a coffee. But we are definitely in the 800 to 900 subscribers, I think, in that zone.
Should we go and have a chat with the people on the local tour bus?
Well, the local tour bus is a way to turn up and sort of like go find out that the place is shut.
I'll tell them.
You're going to be very disappointed.
I'll tell them some stories.
But maybe we'll make a few bob there. Yeah. But we might have another. We're going to probably have a look at somewhere else maybe after this if we can, since we're here. So but until then, drink plenty of water. I know it's raining. It's not quite the end of the summer yet, even though they keep telling us it's still cozy. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. See you later.